I am truly grateful you've joined me today because what I'm about to share has the power to transform your life. The core of genuine attraction doesn't lie in chasing or clinging, but rather in the art of being. When a woman masters the power of detachment, she becomes utterly irresistible because her value radiates from within. A man is naturally drawn to what he sees as rare and irreplaceable. A woman who detaches sends exactly that message. She does not seek attention, approval, or validation. Her life is abundant, her purpose unmistakable, and her joy is independent of anyone else. Detachment is not the same as indifference. It's a calm, assured confidence that says, I am whole and complete as I am. When a woman grasps this truth, she steps into a power no man can overlook. Men are instinctively wired to pursue what challenges and captivates both their mind and spirit. A detached woman doesn't plead for affection or crave attention. Instead, she naturally draws it because her energy is magnetic. She sets her standards high, not out of arrogance, but because she truly understands her worth. She's unafraid to walk away from anything or anyone that does not align with her values. This unwavering spirit creates a space of respect, and a man cannot help but honor a woman who respects herself enough to detach from what no longer serves her. Detachment also cultivates emotional balance. She doesn't break down under pressure or get swept away by the highs and lows of relationships. Instead, she remains steady and chooses to invest in her personal growth and dreams rather than chasing fleeting emotions. This maturity inspires a man to rise to her level because he recognizes that being in her presence is a privilege, not a given. When a woman detaches, she creates space, and that space fuels desire. Men are attracted to freedom. They long for connection, but not suffocation. The detached woman allows a man the freedom to choose her, deepening the authenticity of his commitment. She doesn't manipulate or control. She simply is, and that's what makes her unforgettable. As we've discovered the nature and purpose of woman in the new moon, we are supporting a retread beyond the boundaries, deepen, and add to the authenticity of his commitment. Her detachment is not rejection, but an invitation to rise. It tells a man, I am complete on my own, but if you want to walk with me, you must meet me where I am. This stance calls forth the best in him and builds a relationship rooted in mutual respect and admiration. To the woman who learns to detach, know this: you are not losing by letting go. You are gaining by standing firm in your value. Your power is not in chasing, it is in being. Men cannot resist a woman who knows how to love deeply yet remain free. That delicate balance is what makes you extraordinary. Detachment is a profound expression of self-confidence because it reveals an unshakable belief in one's own worth and identity. A woman who practices detachment communicates without words that she is whole and complete just as she is. She doesn't need constant reassurance from others to validate her sense of self. This inner assurance becomes a quiet, radiant strength that others naturally notice. A detached woman is not desperate for attention, affection, or approval. She doesn't chase relationships or cling to outcomes because her confidence is not dependent on external factors. She understands that her value is inherent, not dictated by others' opinions or actions. This kind of confidence allows her to stand firm in her choices, unafraid of rejection or loss, because she knows her worth remains constant. Detachment also brings clarity. A confident woman does not get lost in emotional turbulence or hold onto unhealthy situations. She evaluates relationships and interactions with calm, grounded perspective, making sure her decisions align with her values and purpose. Her detachment acts as a safeguard, preventing her from settling for less than she deserves. This self-assured approach to life generates an undeniable magnetism. People are naturally drawn to someone who exudes such confidence because it is both inspiring and empowering. It challenges others to respect her boundaries and treat her with the dignity she commands. Through her quiet confidence, a detached woman shifts the dynamics of any relationship. She doesn't follow, she leads by example. Ultimately, detachment rooted in self-confidence isn't about pushing people away. It is about standing firm in who you are. It is an unspoken declaration, I am enough, and that truth is irresistible. Emotional independence is the cornerstone of strength and self-assurance. It reflects the ability to navigate life without being overly reliant on others for emotional support, validation, or happiness. A woman who embodies emotional independence is in control of her inner world. She doesn't let external circumstances or the actions of others dictate her mood or sense of self-worth. This doesn't mean she's closed off or unwilling to connect. Instead, she approaches relationships from a place of abundance, not need. She doesn't cling to others to fill emotional voids or compensate for inner emptiness. Instead, she cultivates joy, peace, and confidence from within, and then brings these gifts into her relationships without demanding anything in return. A woman with emotional independence takes responsibility for her feelings. She knows that while others can influence her emotions, she holds the ultimate power to regulate them. This makes her resilient in the face of challenges. She can feel disappointment or heartache without being consumed by it, because she has learned to process her emotions in healthy, constructive ways. This kind of independence makes her incredibly attractive. A man admires a woman who is emotionally stable and secure because it allows the relationship to flourish without the burden of unrealistic expectations or constant reassurance. She doesn't seek a partner to complete her, she seeks someone to complement her, a partner who adds value to an already rich and fulfilling life. Emotional independence also empowers her to set healthy boundaries. She can say no without guilt and walk away from anything that doesn't align with her values or bring her peace. This clarity and self-respect foster an atmosphere of mutual admiration and respect in her relationship. Ultimately, emotional independence is freedom, the freedom to live authentically and love deeply without losing oneself. It is a declaration that her happiness and peace are her responsibility, and that inner strength is what makes her unforgettable. Having high value and standards is an expression of self-worth that speaks louder than words. It reflects a deep understanding of one's own worth and a steadfast commitment to uphold it in every area of life. A woman who lives by high standards doesn't do so out of arrogance or entitlement, but out of respect for herself and the life she's creating. She knows exactly what she wants and refuses to compromise on the principles that matter most. She has clarity about her values, purpose, and the kind of relationship she desires. This clarity isn't about being rigid or unapproachable. It's about making room only for what aligns with her vision. Her high value is evident in how she carries herself. She doesn't need to seek validation or prove her worth because she already knows it. This confidence is magnetic. It draws in those who appreciate her strength and naturally pushes away those unwilling to rise to her level. She sets the standard for how she expects to be treated by first treating herself with dignity, care, and respect. She's not afraid to walk away from situations that don't honor her worth, whether it's a job, a friendship, or a romantic relationship. She understands that settling for less diminishes the respect she has for herself. Her willingness to walk away sends a powerful message. Her time, energy, and presence are precious, and she won't waste them on anything unworthy. Having high standards doesn't mean she's difficult or unkind. On the contrary, it means she is intentional. She knows that the quality of her life is shaped by the choices she makes and is deliberate in selecting what aligns with her highest good. Her standards act as a filter, allowing only what is authentic, meaningful, and uplifting to have a place in her life. This level of self-respect and intentionality naturally commands admiration. People are drawn to her strength and integrity. Men in particular feel inspired to rise to meet her expectations. She doesn't have to demand respect. It is freely given because she embodies it fully. Ultimately, having high value and standards is not about exclusion, but about elevation. It is an invitation for others to grow, to rise, and to honor the best within themselves so they can walk alongside her. This is what makes her not just captivating, but unforgettable. Mystery and attraction go hand in hand, creating an undeniable allure that captivates the imagination. A woman who embodies mystery doesn't reveal everything about herself all at once. Instead, she allows her depth to unfold slowly, like the pages of a captivating book. This sense of mystery isn't about playing games or being deceptive. It's about preserving a sense of individuality and uniqueness that invites curiosity and admiration. Mystery draws people in because it leaves room for discovery. When a woman refrains from overexposing her thoughts, feelings, or plans, she becomes fascinating. Her life holds layers that require time and effort to uncover, and this process of discovery keeps a man engaged and intrigued. He is inspired to learn more about her because there is always something new to explore, a fresh perspective, a hidden talent, or an untold story. This aura of mystery is also grounded in confidence. A mysterious woman doesn't feel the need to seek constant attention or justify herself to others. She is comfortable with silence, with not filling every moment with words or actions, and this quiet assurance creates a powerful presence. She knows her worth and trusts that the right people will take the time to understand and appreciate her. Maintaining mystery is about valuing privacy and boundaries. She doesn't share every detail of her life with everyone, nor does she allow just anyone into her inner world. This selectiveness communicates that her time, energy, and attention are precious. By keeping some parts of herself reserved, she signals that intimacy with her is a privilege, not something to be taken lightly. The allure of mystery also keeps relationships vibrant and exciting. When a woman retains her individuality and continues to grow and evolve, she remains unpredictable in the best way. She brings fresh energy and perspective to her connections, ensuring they never become stagnant. This dynamic energy is incredibly attractive as it challenges others to stay engaged and invested in the relationship. At the core of mystery is a deep sense of self-awareness. A mysterious woman knows who she is and what she stands for. She is not easily swayed by the opinions or demands of others because she is firmly rooted in her identity. This steadfastness makes her intriguing and compelling. She becomes someone worth knowing, someone who inspires admiration and respect. Ultimately, mystery is not about creating distance, but about fostering intrigue. It invites people to come closer, to learn, and to connect on a deeper level. A woman who carries an air of mystery doesn't demand attention. She commands it effortlessly. Her presence lingers in the mind, making her unforgettable and inspiring those around her to uncover the beauty and wisdom beneath the surface. Fostering respect is one of the most powerful outcomes of a woman who knows her worth and loves with intention. Respect cannot be demanded, It must be earned through consistent actions, values, and self-respect. A woman who cultivates respect in her relationships and interactions does so by demonstrating integrity, confidence, and boundaries that reflect her profound understanding of her own value. When a woman respects herself, she sets the tone for how others will treat her. She establishes clear boundaries, not out of fear or defensiveness, but because she knows that respect begins with herself. She doesn't allow others to overstep or diminish her and communicates her expectations calmly and assertively. This firmness shows that she values herself and compels others to do the same. Her actions align with her words, creating an atmosphere of trust and admiration. She doesn't make empty promises or act in ways that contradict her values. This consistency earns her the respect of those around her who come to see her as reliable and authentic. Her strength lies in her ability to remain true to herself, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. A woman who fosters respect is discerning about who she allows into her life. She doesn't seek approval from everyone, nor tries to please all. Instead, she focuses on building meaningful connections with those who appreciate her values and honor her presence. This selectivity communicates that her time and energy are valuable and not to be taken lightly. Respect is further cultivated through the way she carries herself. Her posture, tone of voice, and demeanor all convey self-assurance and grace. She doesn't need to raise her voice or resort to confrontation to make her point. Her presence alone commands attention, and her ability to stay calm and composed in challenging situations reinforces her strength and dignity. Fostering respect also involves showing respect to others. A woman who values herself understands the importance of treating others with kindness and fairness. She listens attentively, acknowledges different perspectives, and stands firm without demeaning or belittling others. This balance of strength and empathy earns her admiration because it shows her respect for others comes from genuine self-respect. Ultimately, a woman who fosters respect becomes a beacon of strength and inspiration. People are drawn to her not because she demands their attention, but because she earns their admiration through her actions, values, and the way she honors herself and those around her. This respect is lasting and profound, forming the foundation of meaningful relationships and interactions. It makes her presence unforgettable and her influence enduring. Non-attachment to outcomes is a powerful mindset that reflects strength, clarity, and maturity. It is the ability to pursue goals, invest in relationships, and live with purpose without being overly dependent on specific results. A woman who practices non-attachment doesn't allow her happiness, self-worth, or peace of mind to hinge on how things turn out. Instead, she focuses on the process, trusting that everything will unfold as it should. This mindset doesn't mean she lacks passion or care. On the contrary, it allows her to give her best in every situation while remaining free from the anxiety of control. She understands that she can influence her circumstances but cannot control every aspect of the outcome. This realization brings her freedom and peace, because her focus is on what she can do, not on what she cannot. Non-attachment reflects a deep confidence in herself and in life. A woman who is not attached to outcomes believes in her ability to handle whatever comes her way. She knows that success or failure, acceptance or rejection do not define her. This inner assurance allows her to take risks, make bold decisions, and embrace challenges without fear of losing herself in the process. In relationships, non-attachment fosters authenticity. She doesn't force connections or cling to people out of fear of being alone. Instead, she lets relationships develop naturally, free of pressure or expectations. This approach creates an atmosphere of mutual respect and freedom, where both parties can grow and thrive without feeling constrained. Her non-attachment doesn't mean she doesn't care, it means she cares deeply enough to let things unfold organically. This mindset also makes her resilient. When things don't go as planned, she doesn't crumble or dwell on disappointment. Instead, she sees every outcome as a learning opportunity, a stepping stone to greater wisdom and growth. Her ability to detach from specific results enables her to adapt and move forward with grace and confidence. Non-attachment is closely tied to self-worth. A woman who practices this understands that her value is not determined by external achievements, relationships, or possessions. She finds fulfillment in her journey, her growth, and her purpose. This inner strength makes her incredibly attractive because it reflects a rare and compelling sense of independence and balance. Ultimately, non-attachment to outcomes is about surrendering the need for control while remaining deeply invested in one's efforts and values. It is a mindset of freedom, allowing her to live fully and authentically without being weighed down by fear or expectations. This detachment makes her magnetic because it shows that happiness and peace come from within, a truth that draws others to her and leaves a lasting impression. Freedom creates pursuit because it ignites a natural desire in others to seek what cannot be forced or controlled. When a woman embodies freedom in her spirit, choices, and demeanor, she becomes irresistibly captivating. Her freedom is not just about independence in a practical sense. It is an emotional and mental liberation that communicates self-sufficiency and completeness. She is free from the need to chase, cling, or manipulate, and this freedom makes her presence all the more captivating. A woman who embraces freedom creates space for others to choose her willingly. She does not demand attention or affection, nor does she rely on tactics to secure someone's interest. Instead, she lives authentically, allowing her natural essence to attract people effortlessly. This absence of pressure fosters an environment where genuine connections can blossom, as others feel inspired to pursue her out of admiration rather than obligation. Freedom signals self-confidence. A woman who is content and fulfilled within herself does not depend on external sources to define her happiness or identity. She has her own passions, goals, and a clear sense of purpose, which makes her life dynamic and vibrant. This independence challenges others to match her energy and effort, sparking the pursuit because her freedom communicates, "I am enough on my own, but I welcome those who truly appreciate me." This sense of freedom also cultivates respect. When a woman respects her own space and honors others' boundaries, it creates a balance that feels both refreshing and rare. She is not threatened by distance or individuality. Instead, she thrives in the understanding that relationships flourish best when both parties feel free. This mindset motivates others to pursue her because they recognize her as someone who enriches life without infringing on autonomy. Freedom amplifies her allure by maintaining a sense of unpredictability. She is not entirely accessible or foreseeable, which keeps others intrigued. Her life moves with a rhythm and flow that is uniquely hers, challenging others to invest genuine effort to truly know her. The pursuit becomes exciting because her freedom adds an element of mystery, making her presence feel like a privilege rather than something expected. Moreover, freedom is empowering. A woman who is free from desperation or dependence on specific outcomes allows others to experience her presence without the burden of unmet expectations. She becomes a source of inspiration, a person others want to be around because her freedom reflects a strength that is both welcoming and formidable. Success. Ultimately, freedom creates pursuit because it conveys self-worth, abundance, and confidence. A free woman doesn't need to chase after anything or anyone because she is fully aware of her value. This quiet assurance encourages others to pursue her, not out of obligation, but because her freedom makes her irresistibly magnetic. It is this blend of strength, independence, and openness that renders her unforgettable and deeply desired. In the end, the power of detachment lies in the profound message it sends: I am whole, I am valuable, and I am free. A woman who understands and embodies this truth doesn't have to demand respect, attention, or love. They